regarding an agenda item she had listed.
See it back. Good evening, everybody. So after some thought about the appropriateness of starting a discussion of the nature of the resolution that I proposed, I decided to pull it. I moved to put this resolution on the agenda out of it was an emotional response to the horror of the violence that's happening in our world in too many places. And there seems to be no end in sight. And as much as I think it's really important that we all keep our eyes wide open and on what's going on globally, I don't know that this is the place to have those discussions. And I thought long and hard about what I would say about why I would pull it or why I did it in the first place. And at an historic marker ceremony that happened yesterday at Kings Rock, there was a blessing done by Dancing Star, who's the sachem of the Poconoke tribe and nation, a 10,000-year-old tribe, which seems quite appropriate and particularly telling given what's going on in our world right now. And her words were that came from the Creator, whatever that may be for anybody, that we need to be living in balance and that everything on the land, it is a blessing to have our feet on the land and planted on the ground, and that we need to walk this earth and keep our footsteps in peace and in balance. And there's just not enough of that right now. And we need to remember with each step that we take every day, how lucky we are to be on ground, solid ground, and live with peace in our hearts. And that was my intention for the resolution. That's enough. That's all I needed to say. So
Okay.
thank you, Mr. President.
Ben, do we need a motion to remove it from the agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to remove.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That being said, now we're going to go back to the public comment section. This is a section where anybody from the public can address the council. We probably can't take any action on it if it's not an agenda item, but it's anything you want to bring to our attention or comment that you want to make. Now is the time to do it. If you want to make a public comment, please come down to the microphone, state your name and your address and what you would like to say. Would anyone like to make a public comment? No? Okay. That being said, let's move along to interviews. First, we have one position on the Conservation Commission and we have no applicants. Second, we have the 250th Commission. We have 8 positions available. And we have one applicant, June Speakman from 54 Seymour Street. June, would you come down, please? Just give us a little idea of what you're looking to do, and I can see your your plenty of good experience here.
Sorry, it's just, I don't know. It was at the, yeah. I didn't mean to send the extended CV, but it's what was in my file. So thank you. I'm asking for your consideration for this position because it's an important holiday or an important celebration for the country. I know a little bit about the time period through my teaching of political science at Roger Williams, and I think I can probably help out.
Okay. Any questions from the council? No?
You're eminently qualified, and I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Unless there are any other questions, I would make a motion to appoint June Speakman to the
Volunteerism is high.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I
Thank you
appreciate it. Thanks.
for coming forward.
Okay, moving along to the minutes. First, we have the acceptance of the October 10, 2023 regular scheduled minutes.
Motion to accept. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Next, we have the November 2nd, 2023. This was the special meeting.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay, now we're moving along to public hearing. This is for the renewal of the 2023 to 2024 alcoholic beverage licenses. What I'll do is I'm gonna read each class and I'll read the names, and after that, if there's public comment on the ones I've read, we'll accept it at that time because it is a public hearing. Then I'll move on to the next one. And once I go through the list, then we'll close the public hearing and then we'll vote on the licenses after that. Oh, I skipped the consent agenda. Excuse me, we have P1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and these are basically vitrilling licenses, pool table licenses, and all of that. Do any councilors want to pull any of these, or do we want to pass it on the consent agenda?
I'm fine with it. Yep, second.
We have a motion and a second to pass the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll get back to the public hearing. So I'm going to open the public hearing, and the first is the Class A licenses. We have a limit of 3, and the 3 applicants or the 3 license holders looking for renewal are 1776 Liquors of Barrington, Bristol County Spirits, Inc., and Mallett's Liquors, Inc. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on either of these licenses? Do we have any questions from the council?
Mr. President, I just recommend that you approve each class after the public comments.
Right, once we close it, I'll go back through it and just approve them.
You
Is
can do
that-
it that way, or you can just approve a class A. and-
I can approve it while we're in the public hearing?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, we have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All okay. Next, we have the Class BBL. There's a limit of 7, and we have 3 out there. The first one is Blount Fine Foods Corporation, Baja Fresh Express, and Open Frame Inc. Any public comment on these? Any questions from the council?
Motion to approve. Second.
On that being said, because of, I want to make sure that we should also put in there that these, we're approving them, but they're not to be issued until they meet all fire, police, and city and town clerk requirements.
Correct.
Okay. So that being said, we have a motion and a second for the BBLs. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we have Class BV. There's 31. This is gonna take a little while, so bear with me. Because we do have 31. State Street LLC, Beneath the Garden LLC, C&M Hospitality LLC, Cigar World LLC, Davok BS Inc., Fork in the Road LLC, Galactic Theater LLC, HFC Global Inc., Jack's Family Restaurant Inc., KGM Corp., DBA Lawrence Restaurant, Luke's Inn Corp., Palmer River Grill LLC, Perella's Restaurant Corp., Perfect Picnics Hospitality LLC, Castola's Inc., Renegade Restaurant Group LLC, Richardson Properties LLC, Rocco Scar LLC, SD and JR LLC, Sea Oats LLC, Spindrift Hospitality Group LLC, Sylvia Hospitality LLC, Tabino Inc., the Carey Corporation, the Guild Warren LLC, the Roadhouse Inc., the Square Peg Corporation, Trafford's Inc., VK Holdings Inc., Water Dog Inc., and Waterfront Investments LLC. Is there anyone in the public that would like to comment on any of these? Any questions from the council
Motion to approve
pending
pending the
requirements
compliance with all the fire and police
and
and
then,
state.
Yep.
And local.
okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to Class C, we have one. It's Jack's Bar Inc. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on this license renewal?
Motion approved.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor? Aye. Class D, we have 5. Club Recreato and Cultural Portuguese de Warren, East Bay Rod and Gun Club, Warren German American Club, and the Warren Portuguese American Club. Anyone in the public care to comment on these? Council?
Motion to approve contingent on all requirements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, with that, we can close, I have a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. We already did P1, P2, P3. We are up to, I believe, P6. And this is a request for a New Year's Eve extended hours, from the Roadhouse Inc. Is there someone here from the Roadhouse?
I don't see anybody. I don't see Sharon.
What's the pleasure of the council? They're looking to stop selling alcohol at 12:45 and close by 2 AM.
We do the same thing last year?
I believe
Yeah.
all of these ones that are asked last
Yeah, we did the same thing last year.
I
didn't
think
we?
there are no complaints from the chief, motion approved.
Any issues last year? No issues? Yeah, second, the motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is P7. That is a request for New Year's extended hours, and that's the Club Recreado and Cultural Portuguese de Warren. I believe they were in front of us last year too. Is there anyone here from that organization? Okay, council,
No problems, motion approved.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, P8, this is extended New Year's Eve hours, and this is from Galactic Theater. Same thing, alcohol ends at 12:45, closed by 2 AM. Anyone here representing Galactic Theater? Okay, council,
And again, I see a positive nod by the chiefs, motion approved.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 9, this is for a yearly entertainment license from Spindrift Hospitality. Chomp. Is there anyone here from Chomp? Please come forward. Give us a little rundown on what your plans are.
Hey, good evening. Sam Glenn, 23 Dyer Street here in town. With the bigger space on Water Street now, we hope to be able to host live entertainment for the first time in 10 years. We had a great experience. We kind of tested out a little bit, albeit outside with the walkabout over the past few Sundays, and it went fantastic. So it obviously encouraged us to want to pursue this. So in keeping in line with the rest of the town's, entertainment aesthetic and desires, that's what we hope to do there too.
Are you looking for interior and exterior or
Not
just
no,
interior?
just interior this time.
Okay? Any
Will it be
questions?
amplified, Sam?
I think amplified beyond just like an acoustic, like just somebody playing a guitar.
So like an acoustic guitar that may be amplified. You're
Yes,
looking at
I'm not-
rock and roll or.
Not a rock and roll band by any means, no. Just normal, more
No bloody eardrums.
exactly. There's other spots for that.
No mosh pit?
Hopefully.
So again, this is just interior?
Just interior for now. Yeah, we understand the process to go through for exterior. We're not pursuing that
Okay,
this time.
yeah, that would have been my
Yeah.
question. So, okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the council? Can we have a
Motion to
motion?
approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Next, we have another yearly entertainment license request from the Square Peg Corporation. Is there someone here that would like to speak on behalf of that application? Hello? You must be getting sick of coming here, huh?
Never, just in case we want to entertain,
Okay.
maybe on the walkabout one day a year. Just to be safe, I wanted to apply for it.
Okay, and there's gonna be, again, same question, mostly inside, not
Just
outside?
inside,
Okay.
yeah.
So this is for the new bar.
The
for
new bar,
Stingy Alley.
yes,
This
correct.
isn't for Square Peg.
Not for the square peg. No.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Great,
Good luck.
great. Thank
Good
you.
luck, Amy. See you.
P11, this is for a one-day entertainment license from Hadley H.S. Arnold. And this is for the former St. Mark's Church. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on that? Please come forward. Just give us a little idea on what you're looking to do.
Hard of hearing. What's the question?
Basically, give us a quick rundown on what you're looking to do.
From 1 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, December 9th, we plan to have guests for an open house to see a stained glass window and have a gospel choir performing.
Okay.
Wow.
Questions from the council?
Sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I hope you'll all come.
Is the public invited?
When I'm gonna get some guidance from the police chief and the fire chief. We could have 150 guests there, we could have more, and I need to know what is actually allowable in the building, and then we'll manage into it. If essentially the public is invited, but it's going out as invitations to specific humans. It's not being marketed as a wide open event.
That's what I was wondering. All right, so motion to approve contingent on the recommendations by the chiefs, the police and fire.
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Good luck.
See you there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have correspondence. Is there anything?
I was wondering.
The two resignations,
Yep.
can we just send them letters of thank you for their service?
Yep.
You know about the thing.
I don't think we need a motion for that. We can just instruct the clerk to draft a
Please.
letter of thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
The Rock.
Okay.
I'm sure Dave invited.
Moving along to new business. Yeah, let me catch up there.
I didn't get anything.
Okay, first on the agenda for new business is discussion and action requesting funding for the Mount Hope School Stand Program. Please come forward. How we doing? Just give us you tell us your names and just a quick rundown of what you actually do.
So we're Mount Hope students taking action against negative decisions. I'm Dakota.
I'm Gianna. I'm Leah. I'm Sarah.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, ladies. How are you?
Good, how are you?
We're good.
So our goal is to raise awareness and educate our peers on the dangers of illegal drug usage, underage drinking, impaired and distracted driving, using alcohol and marijuana use, and other drugs, to name a few. We work with both local and state organizations throughout the school year. And we participate in events with Mothers Against Drunk Driving and also attend Youth Driven, which is a youth leadership program about traffic safety summit at Bryant University in the summer. We spread our message in several ways, such as having a table during lunch to share information with other students. And we hold a prevention tree contest for extracurricular clubs to research the negative decisions we mentioned earlier and the decorated trees are then displayed at Mount Hope High School. We started a much larger program last year called In the Driver's Seat, which is an interactive event for students and their parents about the dangers of driving under the influence of illegal and/or drugs. We're here tonight asking for help to attend CADCA. It's an educational leadership conference held in Washington, D.C. for youth and adult prevention advocates. We're looking forward to learning from other youth groups so we can continue to make a difference in our communities.
Thank you.
Very well said.
Any questions of them from the council?
I have a question before to them, but to Ms. Mishu.
That's who I was going to next. Yep.
We are restricted by the charter on how much we can donate.
So I'm not sure.
Any wiggle room with
Right,
that.
I'm not sure I would consider that this a donation. It's an allocation of your opioid settlement funds. And this is an allowable use. I've talked to the solicitor about this for those opioid settlement funds, so I don't think it falls within the donation section of the charter.
And what's the amount that we're looking at?
No, they didn't really.
We're leaving it up to
I
us.
believe the manager had a suggestion.
My suggestion was perhaps 2,000 would be, it's $500 a piece for them to actually just even get into
Is that for the conference?
and then there's obviously expenses, other expenses,
So we would cover their registration.
Right.
I believe there's more of them in the full group, but it's the council's pleasure. I included in front of you, you'll see what the current balance is in the account.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's up to the council.
I should add that this is what thought was behind these opioid settlement funds.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we allocate $2,000 for the stand group that came before us.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Did
Good
someone
luck.
else have a question?
Yeah.
No? Okay, good luck.
Represent well.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have discussion and action. This was brought by Councilman Di Pasquale. It's regarding one-way traffic pattern, discussion for Main and Water and Metacom Avenue, reduction of 4 to 2 travel lanes. At that, I'm gonna turn it over to Councilman Di Pasquale.
Thank you. So, living here in town, I hear constantly that parking is an issue on Water Street, speeding is an issue on Water Street. And one of the possible solutions could be traffic calming with parking, actually having diagonal parking, I think could increase the parking spaces by about 30%. My rough estimate is every length of one parking space could probably do about 2.5 if they pulled in. So this must be a good topic because it's really stirred up a lot of people. But the simple reality is I'm simply asking for feasibility, probably starting with the Traffic Commission to see if this would even be something pursuing. I understand that Mechanics Fire Station is there, but once again, I think looking at it as a possibility is the best way to make a decision on that. So what I'm asking for is a motion to send this to the Traffic Commission and the planner as part of that. But the planner and I actually had a brief discussion, and there are some possibilities. My intention is to timely be able to hopefully wrap this in, if it's even possible, with the parking plan, which has been going on since I was born. And this is a revisited request that was from the 70s. Some people feel that this is hashing up old things that have already been settled. I don't believe so. I think living on Water Street now, growing up in the North End, people race from red light to red light. There's really no other way to get there. You have to go through those patterns, and you're faster to the red light. You just wait longer. If you're slower to the red light, you actually can time it and off you go. So that's my first request. So I'm making that in the form of a motion, send that off to the Traffic Commission, and maybe they can come back with a report, and maybe we can send that off to the state.
We have a motion to refer the one-way traffic patterns to the Traffic Commission. Do we?
What discussion and feasibility?
For discussion and feasibility, refer it to the Traffic Commission. Is there any questions from councilors?
I have a question. So in this memo here, it says in anticipation of the agenda item regarding traffic patterns on Main, Water, and Metacom, the staff meeting was held on October 20th. So that basically was the traffic group, wasn't it? Or was it?
It was a little bit different makeup than the traffic advisory group, but I think basically when we met to preliminarily discuss it, the general thinking was that this would require much more in-depth review.
Right.
And that it was not something that we could assess prior to the meeting, that we would need some time.
Yeah, because I definitely agree it needs to be further discussed. I like the idea of stakeholders and business owners and whatnot being involved in the discussion. So moving it forward in that way makes good sense.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have?
I'll second it.
I have
Another
just-
question?
So this would obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but you're asking for traffic pattern on Main Street as well.
We're not there yet.
So it's really the traffic on Water Street is what you're after.
No. I don't, well, we're not there yet. So the first motion would be to send the Water Street off to our Traffic Commission. I'm looking for support for that.
Okay, so we're not talking Main on that. We're just talking
Yeah,
water.
It
for this
says
first motion.
traffic pattern.
It says Main and water.
So
Correct.
Main is like a whole, that's DOT and a whole.
Correct. So
Okay.
what I'm doing is opening the discussion because I then want to have, they are included. I don't believe you can do Water Street
Without
changing
considering
without how it
Main Street,
impacts
yeah.
Main. So what I'm looking for is a coordinated effort. They're going to be actually separate because this one's going off to our Traffic Commission And then next I was going to ask for a resolution or a request, Anthony will help me with the correct language, to DOT to once and for all. If we can actually get a definition of what for once and for all is, we've had requests for a light at Child, which was warranted. DOT, the head who's not any longer here, stood in this room and said, we agree with you. You need a light on Child Street. But due to the proximity of the light on Market, we're going to deny it. Makes no sense to me at all. At the time, we asked for a no turn on red to be put on that sign on the light. They said that the light could not hold that. So the reason I'm hopeful is we fast forward. There's now a sign on that light at Market that says no turn on red. So I'm just miffed. Mr. DeSisto.
Just to answer Councilman Hackett's question, the issue that's on the item on the agenda is going to be bifurcated. So there's going to be one motion regarding Water Street, and then there's going to be another motion for Main Street.
Is that your plan?
Correct,
Yep.
because although I didn't, I actually thought maybe there would be some contact prior, and maybe I missed it, but my wording wasn't exactly as I wanted it. But for those who look at the agenda, the substance of my request is there. So it is a Main Street. The only difference is that the language says the one-way traffic pattern. It was supposed to be how it impacts Main Street on water. So if you're looking at changing, I'm not looking to even think of making Main Street a one-way. What I am hoping is that the state can finally look at our little town, that I'm not trying to move faster. Unfortunately, I feel that due to the traffic jams that we have, we get some pretty erratic driving. And we get people who don't even understand their objective as they speed, weave through town to get nowhere faster. It's dangerous. We like walking around our town. For those of you who don't know this, riding a bicycle on the sidewalk is illegal. So for those of us who ride bikes and try to get around town, that's dangerous as well. So I'm really trying to, before I leave this seat, get an answer. So many studies are done. So many times it seems just to be the whim of whatever direction the state is, the wind is blowing up at the State House. Sometimes you get action, sometimes you don't. I look at some great improvements that were made in Apponaug, just a few that I know of. The whole Apponaug area, that roundabout, nightmare. In Newport, there was a whole area nightmare. Things have been bettered because state is involved, and I am sure that it must happen because people at the local level ask. So I'm asking for the state to please take a look at our town and help us understand the possibilities of a traffic pattern that could just make a little bit sense in the flow and where you're going. We're all going 6 miles. Not even, it's 6 square miles. We're going 2 miles. So that's my request. And the reason that I connected the two is, as I said.
Okay, so
Mr. DeSisto, do you have anything you can
I
add to
think
that?
the first motion is to refer the Water Street, one-way Water Street to the traffic.
Correct.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the second motion, I believe, Joe, is you want to refer the Main Street question to the state?
Correct.
Okay,
And how the impact, the question is, if we, because we can change Water Street if we wanted to. We have that authority. But how does that impact Main Street, which we don't have the authority to? Now, when I was here this entire time of my life, a third of my life, we made Croad Street a one-way the opposite way. We made no parking on Main Street in front of the Baptist church, thinking cars could be a little bit over to the right and make the turning better. We tried a lot of things. They were all temporary. None of them stuck, except the no right turn on Miller, because we could do that. The state told us there wasn't an issue there, even though When you turn right on red on Miller, you're entering a green light on Market. It baffles me how the experts can't figure this out, but again, I'm pleading to the experts to help us. And the block not due, I don't know how that doesn't make anybody crazy. Block not due. Only in the road do you read from the bottom up.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be going to the state. I think that the language should be, that this, matter, be referred to the State Traffic Commission.
Okay.
For a discussion on the traffic pattern on, Main Street, not limiting it to just a one-way.
No, I don't, I want that
Traffic pattern
scratched.
on Main Street further, to request a meeting, between, Councilman Pasquale, town manager and town planner with Robert Rocchio, who is the chief engineer for the Rhode Island Department of Transportation.
Okay.
And I think that you can refer this to the traffic commission, or perhaps a meeting with Mr. Rocchio would expedite the process.
I wouldn't mind having our state representatives with us.
Can invite
So-
them.
They can be invited.
So just to clarify, the request to Department of Transportation about Main Street will be what, like, what's the request? What are you asking them for?
The traffic pattern.
Like, to change the traffic pattern?
Well, what's the impact?
The red light on Market really doesn't work because you're sending a non-guided traffic pattern up Child. When you look at people cutting down, now I'm blank, Joyce Street, where are they going? They're going on to Market. When you look at people taking a right on Sanders, where are they going? Over to Market from Child. The whole area is intertwined with state and town. And it's a nightmare. If you sit there and watch what people are doing, it's a miracle that more people haven't gotten killed, because the majority of people that are doing this don't even know where they're going. And those of us who do sit there and actually let people go. So what I'm asking for is information on the 3 studies that I know of in the 20 years that I've sat here. And you know, we apply for this information. We never even get an answer because administrations turn over and planners leave.
Anthony?
I suggested the language. Because I think that you've heard a lot of issues about the traffic pattern on Main Street. And that's why I suggest that Mr. Rocchio, that there be a meeting with Mr. Rocchio on this, because he's the chief engineer. Perhaps some of these issues can be streamlined.
Okay. So the motion is to refer this to the State Traffic Commission and request a meeting with Mr. Rocchio, the chief engineer.
To improve traffic patterns.
To give us, to look at them.
Yes,
I mean, okay.
to improve traffic patterns, that's a good suggestion.
I don't know how it would work, but imagine if Child Street and Market Street, let's say, split at Sanders. Now we have parking on that street. You can make it wider. If you're gonna go right or left,
In other words, you're saying make them one ways from
I'm
that. part,
saying,
no?
I'm saying I'd like to hear from a traffic engineer. No, up. Because you're going uptown, you're on Child Street, you take a right, where are you? You're in the middle of the intersection, or they're blocking the intersection, and now you're sitting at a red light on Market. So what if there was a better way to make traffic flow? We can't afford to do this, and we can't even do this without the input of the state.
That's why I'm suggesting
Yeah.
that Mr. Rocchio,
If I,
there be a meeting with Mr. Rocchio.
if I can jog your memory, we had a gentleman who worked for the Rhode Island Department of Transportation, lives in Bristol, and he sent a suggestion on exactly this, like
How are you
suggestions.
jogging my memory? I'm referring to
No, but
all of the studies that we've gotten
this
that
was
go
just,
nowhere.
this was just an individual who said, yeah, why don't you like look at changing those patterns? I think the town manager responded to him and said, well, we've already looked at this, but I mean, he actually put this on the table like a few months ago, sent it to all of us. So
Your point?
the point is that yeah, that this has been looked at and it seems feasible that we should be able to accomplish this, but, so I guess I'm agreeing with you.
Right, in other words, we would need the state. to
It's
be
a
on board
brutal
in order to
agreement.
Get it done, so I think referring it, I think Anthony's words for his motion were on point.
With inserting the word improve.
Right.
I agree.
Does that make sense, Joe?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so that's the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Next, we have the Medicom Avenue one, Joe.
So the flashing beacon at Main Street and Croad Street.
No, Medicom.
Oh, where am I? Sorry. Yeah, I'm on number 3. Sorry. So Medicom Avenue, once again, probably 12 to 15 years ago, the Medicom Avenue corridor study was created, funded, attended, participated. Nothing. Administration has changed. I remember hearing that we were going to try and coordinate driveway cuts. For example, if you pull into CVS, you'll then travel all the way down to Job Lot or Dunkin' Donuts, because now you're not having traffic stop 10 times to take a right. No one will let you go to go into 10 different businesses that are all there. The state came and did the sidewalks. I asked about the study. Administration changed. It just no answer. Or at least that's my memory. If somebody can provide me with information to show that this is futile, okay, I probably won't stop, but I'll say, all right, great, it's futile. We should have 30 driveway cuts on Medicom Avenue, allowing people to go in parking lots that all connect. It doesn't make sense to me. I once again believe there has to be a better way. For 20 years, we've been ridiculed by some people about building a bridge to nowhere. Well, the bridge is finally completed, going to be completed, hopefully in my lifetime if I make it out of here.
Knock on wood.
And we have a bike path. We have people who believe that riding bikes is good for exercise as well as transportation. We have a business community that tells us Medicom Avenue is a great business community and an incubator and whatever. Okay, you can't ride a bike on the sidewalk, it's illegal. You can't ride in the street because you've got 2 lanes coming in on Market Street that then turn into 4 lanes so people can jockey and cut each other off, not let anybody turn, and almost kill each other to get to 2 lanes in Bristol, where they do have a turning lane and they do have less driveways to turn in and out of. Again, I don't consider this to be something that can't be figured out. Why do we have to have 4 lanes that go to 2 that come from 2? And Mr. DeSisto told me that I have a little latitude on my language because Market turns into Kickamuit, which turns into Medicom. And once again, I ask, why the stoplight at Malik's Liquors? If you're heading south, you go right. If you're heading north, you have to stop at a red light, which stops traffic. A rotary would allow someone going north to start off by going south. Come around, turn the corner, and keep going. Everybody else coming into town is either going to bear right and go up Market or continue that little half circle of a rotary and continue on their way. Traffic is backed up all the way to the Swansea line. People are frustrated.
Further.
It doesn't seem to make sense. We're stopping traffic when we could just be taking a right to go left. So, again, I ask, because I've seen these improvements done in other parts of this state, that we look at the Medicom Avenue. I don't think that you can simply put a turning lane because we have so many driveway cuts. But I do believe if we were to look at the driveway cuts, which were brought up 12 years ago, 15 years ago, and how you would implement that, especially now that we're having such discussion on moving Market Street to Metacom. Wouldn't it be smart if we figured out how to actually do it with a transportation improvement plan?
My concern about, I know what you're saying, but once, if you say you pulled into CVS, you could hit all of those businesses, but without coming back on the main road. But that's all private property. How could we impose that on a
Well, it would
business
be-
that's already there?
It wouldn't be see, the beauty of the time that the first study was I sat at is as you brought new businesses into town, as our comprehensive plan was work, in other words, with the state traffic plan, you would be encouraging. So here's one of the bad parts of doing nothing. We have an auto parts store that's being put in the middle of a parking lot and probably has its own driveway, which I'm not positive of, but what we're looking at is a 4-lane road that I feel has enough space to accommodate some improvement. That's it.
Okay, but I think they're two separate issues. In other words, one would go to the state for the Metacom Avenue, but trying to get the access to all the businesses once you're off the highway, that would be a town issue, I believe.
No, you couldn't do it without touching the state sidewalks. It's got to be a state plan. This was the state that brought the Metacom Avenue corridor plan.
So all right, so I'm thinking you went behind the businesses, like behind CVS and behind. Burger King.
No, I don't remember who our planner was. It might have been Michelle Maha. And we have the study. It was state. Was it Caroline?
It was, and you know, the reason that DOT turned down the lane reductions was they said that their study showed it was too much traffic to do that. And I think that they're incorrect on that. I think we should pursue it. I agree.
So we're looking to refer this to the State Traffic Commission to look into, we're requesting that they look into reduction to 2 travel lanes and a turning lane?
At the time, I looked at these people and I asked them, how can we have traffic coming off of 2 lanes, splitting into 4, and then going into 2, that somehow in Warren is more traffic? Where are these ghost cars coming from? And it's just bizarre because you don't get an answer to a question like that, and you get kind of blown off. And Mr. DeSisto, please.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm gonna recommend that the motion for this be the same as the prior motion, except you're substituting Metacom Avenue, improve traffic, but specifically to look at it for a 2-lane road with the accoutrements that you've mentioned. Also with a meeting with Mr. Rocchio.
And I want to start at the Rotary.
You can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I really hate when for those of you who are older than me, I don't know about you, John.
Yeah, I'm older than you.
No, I know that, but do you remember when Arlington Avenue, I think that was a dead end, right? So what they did is they split off Kickymuit. So Market went to Kickymuit. Metacom turned into Market.
Right.
But then they split it and they destroyed that neighborhood. I mean, I love the people that live there. I feel they're, full of grit and energy and, but I look at it as we sandwich. It's a miniature version of highway blight. When you look at what the interstate did to neighborhoods, what the state did at the time to that area, it hurt us. I think it hurts the people who live there. I think that there's a better way, and I know that I get elected because I don't stop asking, and I can't accept that people who have the ability to help us won't. So I'm always going to continue until I can.
Okay, so the motion would be to refer Metacom Avenue with the Rotary and the consideration of turning to 2 lanes to the State Traffic Commission and request a hearing with the state engineer, a meeting with Mr. Rocchio. Does that sound good?
Sure, we'll start the discussion.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second with just some discussion that I think should be brought with our message. I'm just looking at the federal highway safety programs, and they refer to these reductions as road diets configurations, going from what Joe is actually talking about, taking the 4 lanes and reducing to 2. And the high points that they do mention is that it does improve safety. It can calm traffic, or it will calm traffic, and it will provide better mobility and access for all road users. So this should go with our message, because Joe brings up a good point. We've had these studies done for decades, and they're either falling on deaf ears, or the response back from the state is, well, it doesn't work. Well, the Federal Highway Safety Program is actually indicating that they do work. And they have been making improvements. Joe is 100% on point with this. All over the state, the roadways have changed. We're driving on Medicum Avenue in 2023. It's not the same that it was in 1993 or 1963. So the message that we should be bringing there is like, look, we've been talking about this for 20 years. I think the time is now to implement something. So I agree.
And I'll even throw in one last thing. God rest his soul, David Sylvia, who I believe was trying to bring light on a serious issue, and he had his own style.
Yeah.
But the ADA of Arlington Avenue, it's insane. You've got metal guardrails that have been hit, bent, and they're left there. I am in good enough shape to walk. I can't walk over there. You've got giant cement blocks because cars have gone through the house over there because they're coming around the corner and they don't know where they're going. I mean, the whole area.
The trailer truck went into that house. That's when they put the blocks.
Propane truck
Yep.
flipped over there. I mean, some of this stuff blows my mind because we have examples of near catastrophe. And think about being in a wheelchair or being not fully able. We were told, what was that, Miss Michi? When was that was on our agenda? What did they tell us? 2022 they were going to be out there. You know, so 10 years ago we were supposed to. And again, for those out there who want to critique me, believe me, I'm still fighting for sidewalks on Main Street, South Main, everywhere. So I'm trying to do the best I can. We're all trying to do the best we can. It seems to not happen outside of our reach. That's where the problem is. And I'm hoping that maybe with the federal funds that are available, I don't know. Like I said, I'm never going to stop trying. So
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe something will happen.
Number
We sent
3,
you, it's either gonna push it over the.
we have
Yes.
discussion and action. We got a request to the State Traffic Commission. I believe this was. They sent a letter to our manager asking for our opinion on this, Kate, if I have that right?
Kind of. Well, they sent us notice of the hearing.
Okay,
First version that we got, indicated they have noticed that the request for the no turn on red was coming from the town, which it didn't.
That's not
come from the
accurate.
town.
Yeah.
So when I thought it was appropriate to ask them to continue all the items to give the council an opportunity to weigh in, since none of the requests actually came from the town. And there was no way we were gonna get comment to them in time for that November 1st hearing. So they did continue it in order to give the town a chance to provide any comment or recommendations, or you could choose to have no comment or recommendation.
now, as far as the no turn, where are we talking about? And which right turn are we talking about? From Medicom onto Child, is it from Medicom, from Child onto Medicom or Medicom onto Child?
It would be Medicom to Child because
So in other words,
you
you
can't take a right
Yeah.
on Child to Medicom. It's a one-way.
No, if we're heading towards, the fire station.
Oh, you mean heading west,
You can turn right up
Yeah.
to the high school.
right?
Or, or if you're
Or if
coming,
you're coming down,
if you're
heading
coming down, you
west.
can turn right after the
Onto-
variety store.
onto our-
Which way is it that they're referring to?
Good question.
So turning up towards the high school, they want to eliminate that.
Because there's a crosswalk right there. So is it the same issue as like what's uptown?
Well, there is a
Line of
crosswalk.
sight isn't there, when you're looking left on Child Street, I think they refer to line of sight.
And plus there is a crosswalk right there.
That's gonna back traffic up even more. There's tons of cars turn right over there, especially during the school, when they're going towards the school.
I know, but killing somebody.
No, I know, but I mean, chief, this would be for the police chief. Have we had a lot of incidents in that intersection?
Not off the top of my head, but I know we got some incidents. I don't know.
Okay, but it's not like you think it's a major issue or? Okay.
Not this particular term from Medicom.
Would you want to refer it to the commission so they can just look at their data?
I guess we can refer
And
this
then
to the traffic commission.
It's not gonna happen,
Refer this to the, can we have that's a good idea.
right?
Let's, you know what, maybe we'll do both of them at
And
the
it's
same.
and it's a state intersection and we can get their advice and send it off with
Maybe we can
our
do,
Christmas gift. We're
maybe
sending
we'll
up to
do
the
both at
state.
the same time.
If we could just talk very quickly about the flashing beacon request, though.
That's what I mean. Maybe if we're gonna make a motion to the traffic commission, maybe we can do them both at the same time and send them to the traffic commission, if that's the way we go.
Well, I was just gonna say that I think with the flashing beacon, there are other non-traffic issues that should be considered, and that's mostly like, my opinion is there's a lot of sign clutter already, and if we're gonna have two intersections in a row with flashing beacons, I think there are other considerations besides just strictly transportation.
They're putting one at Joy Street, correct?
Correct. And that contract has already been awarded and that work is going to happen. And I don't think that the State Traffic Commission knew about that project. And I know I listened to the radio. It was someone who called into the radio who requested that. And I know that there was no discussion about the other project. So I have a feeling that there's maybe one hand doesn't know the other one is
And it's
doing.
only about 1,000 feet away.
Right.
Right, so
If
if
that,
the
yeah.
council has an opinion about kind of the visual impacts of something like that, I think that would be separate from a traffic advisory group recommendation, which would be based on strictly, you know, whether that would be something that would improve
And if-
safety.
And if you put too many traffic control devices, people are gonna be more apt to ignore them,
Right,
you know?
Well,
That
you
would
just
be
get
right.
blinded.
Right, yeah. All right,
And for
so,
those who are interested to remember that the Delectus Corner will be placed when that project, that's what we're waiting
Yeah.
on.
right, and they're waiting on curbing, granite curbing. They had asked if we would be amenable to concrete curbing instead of granite, and I said no, because we don't do that anywhere. Why would we do it there? So we're waiting for granite curbing.
all right, so as in the flashing beacon, it kind of sounds like we're not in support of that.
A second one.
The second
The second
beacon.
one at Croyd.
Right.
All right, so basically, I guess we'd be looking for a motion to let the state know that the town would prefer not to have a second flashing beacon in the proximity of the first one. Does that sound?
Do we have to take action?
Well, they're looking for our opinion on it.
I mean, you don't have to.
So they're
but
saying
it's-
that we requested it.
Right,
not
we
what.
didn't. It was a caller on a Gene Valicenti.
Right, this was definitely a caller. I heard the call. I tried to text in, but they didn't answer my text.
All right, so I guess the motion would be to inform the state that the town did not request this second flashing crosswalk, and it sounds like we're not in favor of it. I don't think we have a problem giving them our opinion that we're not in favor of it. Anthony?
Want to incorporate it into your prior motion.
Yeah, because we're actually looking at the whole traffic plan of Main Street.
That's
Right.
So we want to know what the hell's going on, really.
Well, yeah, but if they already have this hearing scheduled, are they gonna pull it and do them together? In other words, I don't want them to approve this without getting an opinion from
What
us.
hearing?
Well, they could, the State Traffic Commission
They're
has
already
already
having a
scheduled
hearing on
this.
these.
But I think what they could do is inform the State Traffic Commission that there's already a flashing beacon that is going to be installed a block away. You know, I could even send them a map and show them how close it is.
We can send them my resolution saying, and we're asking to look at the whole,
Right.
Right.
not just a flashing.
Right, but I think they're gonna go to different places, correct?
But I think we could just mention both in the same
Okay.
place. I mean,
I'm sure that the manager, and I can put in a form of a motion, why don't we have the manager and the solicitor draft the appropriate language, excuse me? And the planner draft the appropriate language regarding our position on the flashing beacon at Main Street and Crow Street.
Sounds good.
yeah, if you have an opinion, I think it's a good time, just, you know. forward.
I can tell you, I wouldn't wanna see another flashing beacon that close, but that's just me.
I don't think they knew about it. It didn't come from us,
Right.
and the other one is slated to be built.
Yeah, I mean, I cross there quite often. I don't necessarily experience a problem there, right at the library.
You've got good lines of sight there.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I would agree. It seems redundant, and that redundancy, as you say, causes people to just sometimes ignore these things. So.
Yep. Okay, so we have a motion instructing you're gonna have three in cases, so you don't have a tie vote. So the town planner, the town solicitor, and the town manager to send a letter regarding the flashing beacon. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, as far as the no turn on red on Medicom Ave and Child, we did not propose that. They think we did. So should we do the same? Well, first off, I would rather not see one there. I think it would cause more backup on Medicom Avenue. And as the chief stated out, it hasn't been a major issue as of this point.
That's the question. I mean, if there had been
Right.
issues, and
Yeah.
there are issues, then absolutely, but seemingly there aren't. And it helps the traffic flow to leave it.
Right, so do we want to actually make the motion with an opinion to send to the state saying we are not in favor? We did not request and we are not in favor of the no right turn.
Mr. DeSisto, can we make a position like that? What if there's a problem there?
Yeah, you can do that. You can go ahead and do this. I wouldn't look at it from a liability standpoint.
That's what I was saying.
I wouldn't do that.
Right, we're just asking that it not be changed. that-
I know, but next week somebody gets hit by a car, what if they say, you know, we're culpable?
Cool. They could do it whether we say we want it or not.
Right. The other option that I think you just mentioned earlier is that this first item about item about the no turn on red, you could refer that to the traffic advisory group just to collect some data and come back.
I
to
thought
you
we did.
with some data.
I thought that's what we,
Yeah, but I mean, but aren't they're having hearings on this? I want to make sure that they get,
We could ask them to continue that one again. I mean, I don't think it's, if
okay.
it's coming from DOT, it's not coming from someone who's.
and it incorporates you for the whole Medicum Avenue
Right.
study that I'm hoping to look at because, you know, the two lanes there would be two lanes.
Okay.
Because at that point, you do have an east-west split.
Right, and I mean, if it went to the traffic advisory group, they could just, they may come back to you and you may make the exact same decision that you're not in favor of it. but Maybe they could pull a little bit of data just to.
Okay, so the motion would be to refer it to the our traffic commission or there?
I think our traffic advisory group.
Okay,
Don't call it
the motion would be to refer it to our traffic advisory group and also to direct the town manager to send them a letter requesting they postpone the hearing until we come back with the facts.
Right, so I think I can send a single letter addressing both issues if I work with them.
Okay. Could we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Next, we have number 4, discussion and action regarding approval of electricity supply contract, which we did have something on in our places when we came in. I'll turn this to the town, I believe the town manager. And there's the breakdown of the costs and the recommendation is for the 3-year plan. Kate, any comments?
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've been tracking for a while. Obviously, as we know, power prices have been rising rapidly. We are part of a collective buying group with the Rhode Island League of Cities and Towns, so we do receive that buying power of being part of a group. Unfortunately, our costs are going to increase under any scenario. The recommendation of our energy manager, who has looked at this extensively, is to go with the 3-year agreement because the likelihood of energy prices coming down is not good. If anything, they're going to get higher. So this would protect us for at least 3 years. The prices do change daily. So if you approve this contract tonight, it will be tomorrow's price. But the trend has been just ever so slightly lower the last week and a half. So hopefully tomorrow is not an exception.
So we're locked in for 3 years.
We would be locked in for 3 years. If that is the pleasure of the council. You could go with 1 year or 2 years. That's also an option, but then it leaves you vulnerable at the end of that period.
I would agree that it's highly unlikely price coming down, so locking in for 3 years makes sense.
Questions?
I will motion to approve the contract for 3 years, Power Options Constellation.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the 3-year agreement. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Next, we have item 5, discussion and action regarding removal of disability parking on 40 Linden Street. I believe the person that had requested it has moved. And basically, so it had to be renewed every year. And it's not only that we won't renew it, but we do need, I believe we need a motion to have DPW go out there and remove the placard and any painting or whatever, any markers?
That's correct, under section 12-67D4. It's actually specifies that council has to move to, a motion to remove the disability parking space designation at the address. That would allow DPW to. go-
Motion to remove the parking space, the handicap parking at 40 Linden.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, next we have discussion and action, emergency repairs to the rail system within the primary pump station at the wastewater treatment facility.
I would like to invite Mr. Blank up if it's okay with the council.
Please come forward. And at the department head meeting, I told him, I said, he's just mad because he saw the new fire truck come in, so he wanted something shiny and new too.
No, I don't. These are 6 tanks that we have at the sewer treatment plant. During the upgrade, 2 of them were redone completely, and those are fine. 4 of them were not. We have metal rails in there that have been in there since 1980, and they are corroding, and they are cutting the fiberglass parts of the tank. And the only way to fix that is they have to be removed, and we're gonna put back fiberglass rail system.
Norman, was this one of the
Yes.
projects that was
This is part of the
removed
took it out,
that was
yeah.
due to
removed,
the
yes.
cost?
Yep.
And the funding from this would come from the ARPA funds, I don't have any other questions.
Yeah, we've
Motion to
got-
approve.
Looks like we've got 1.3 left in the ARPA funds that we can spend, so.
And this is a specifically allowed use of ARPA.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
How long do the rails last, Mr. Blank?
What's that?
How long do the
Since
rails
1980.
usually last?
They've been there since 1980.
Ah, yeah, so
The fiberglass and the rubber will probably last longer.
we won't have to look
It's
at it in.
the fact of metal on rubber
Thank you.
or fiberglass, it just doesn't mix.
Thank you. Okay, where are we? Next, we're at town manager. Discussion and action regarding ratification of temporary appointment of part-time fiscal advisor. Kate?
So unfortunately, at the moment, we are without a full-time finance director. We have immediate needs for obviously financial controls and oversight. So I have brought on board Mr. Lombardi on an emergency basis because we can't have,
Can't just go without.
we just can't go without.
Correct, yeah.
So what I'm asking for this first agenda item is for the council to ratify the agreement that has already been presented on a go-forward basis until we are satisfied that we have a full-time person in that office who can successfully take over the duties.
Kate, what's this gonna be funded out of?
Well, we'll have to take out of the salary line item,
Okay.
and then when we run short on money there, we're gonna have to see where
Yeah.
else we can get it from.
Okay, any questions from the council?
No,
Motion to approve.
second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next, we have discussion and action regarding ratification of temporary delegation of tax collector duties by executive order. Kate?
So again, because we have obviously immediate needs in the finance office, Mr. Leadham, the tax assessor, thankfully offered his assistance in some of the tax collection duties. He has done an excellent job in assisting with those duties. And I would like to continue again with that arrangement while we're in this transition period. And again, asking for the council to ratify the order that I already put out about reallocating some of those duties to the tax assessor.
Questions from the council?
You want to do this?
Eyes wide open, right, Chris?
That's a good question.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, next we have the tax assessor.
This is- I know.
Oh, yeah, I skipped right over Anthony. Actually, I'm gonna let Anthony speak on this, but I believe
Due
it's
to some unforeseen circumstances, I'm gonna recommend that you not have the executive session on this matter. And that it be rescheduled to another time.
Do we need a motion to do that, or?
You do, yeah.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor, aye. Next, Finance Director, Revenues and Expenditures, which we did receive in our email. Any?
I have to apologize in advance because I put it together, so if it looks weird, that's my fault. And the capital isn't included, but there's no significant changes in the capital since from the last report you got, and I can, now that we have an interim person helping out, I can pull that report if it's needed.
Any questions from council?
There are probably journal entries that have not been completed on, as of the date of the report that was pulled, and they are now being updated.
Thank you. Okay, now tax assessor. We have, I don't like to see these big abatements.
Yeah.
Okay, just.
We had a good roll for a while.
What causes a big abatement like?
So the abatement for the 23 tax roll, the 10,158.94, that's primarily one abatement on a tax appeal that I had on a commercial property. So you see smaller abatements month to month because they're little, smaller items that don't need as much attention, but this was one. But at the end of the day, where I want to be at the end of the year, end of the fiscal years, we want to be net kind of neutral on our abatements and our additions.
Yeah.
Because we do certify a tax roll every year that we need to stick within a pretty close percentage of. So we are gonna, at the end of the year, be pretty net zero. So.
Okay, any questions from the council?
None.
No.
Thank you.
And we have.
Motion to approve the abatement of $10,158.94.
Second.
Second, all in favor, aye.
Motion to approve the addition of $3,530.34.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Next, Public Works Director. We're still working on his sign machine, huh?
We are, just looking to move some money from the hot box trailer that we saved when we actually got the purchase to the sign machine capital account so that we can purchase the materials needed to start rolling so that we're not eating into our general account for that right away.
Questions from the council?
What are the first signs you're gonna make?
Some street signs that are missing and have been missing since the new pole installations.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Didn't mean
Aye.
that, John. Thanks.
Okay, next up, Fire Chief. Want to sell some trucks?
Can't believe we have an 01 Yukon.
They're just looking to get rid of a few surplus vehicles that have been replaced over the past few years, and most recently is the fire engine, so just looking to get
Is
them.
that the old engine 6?
That's the old engine 2.
Oh, the old engine. Thank you.
Did we ever look at other private entities that may want them?
I did have some interaction with some people wanted it directly, but they just backed out. So we're looking to put it on the Gov Deals website, the same site you approved a couple months ago for the surplus highway equipment. And should get the best price through that site. So that site is used a lot by municipalities. So if
So
somebody
that's-
does want it as a
That's how
emergency
they-
vehicle, the lights are still there. If it does go that route, that stuff would stay in
That's how
place.
they
If it was
advertise
private, it would be removed.
Thanks.
Any idea out of the blue what a 1989 fire truck goes for?
Is that about 10 grand?
That one's quite desirable due to it's one of the last one that was manufactured off the plant in Middleborough, Mass.
Okay,
So I've got quite a few phone calls and emails about that vehicle, very interested by collectors.
okay, yeah, don't
We
tell.
put a reserve?
We can, but it is gonna be listed as the town reserves the right to refuse all
Okay.
bids.
Okay, great. Any other
Should we put a
questions?
reserve?
Uh,
Is that your act or ours?
I can put a reserve on it if you'd like, and when that inquiry comes on the amount, we can either approve it or deny it.
Anthony, do we have, if we don't put a reserve, can we still deny it if we don't like the price?
You can, but I prefer putting the reserve on.
Okay,
I would prefer putting the reserve on.
any idea what it should
Yeah.
be?
That's the question. Yeah, 5,000, I would stop at for the max.
Yeah, I mean, we don't
Okay.
want to just give it away,
Right.
even if, we can refuse, but I think a reserve is
That's what
best.
the last reserve truck brought in was 5,000.
Okay.
It wasn't as desirable as this one will be.
We'll make a motion authorizing it and directing the fire chief to proceed as
So
discussed.
moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, next, building official. Spending some money. Hey, Matt.
Good evening, Matt Cabral, Building and Zoning Official. This is just a request for an over expenditure of the housing boarding cleanup account. We had a couple properties, the one particular one that we had to clean out the inside and still have to board up the property, so it was rather expensive. So this is the amount for the cleanup, and I'll be back before you next month for boarding.
Okay, and I just want to let everybody know, which these are all, we will eventually get this money back. It will go in the form of a lien on the
Yeah.
property. It's just, eventually we'll get it. It just knows it could be a month, it could be 2 months, it could be a year, but eventually this money will come back to the town.
It's known as a clean lien.
Yep.
And just so we actually have a property that was boarded and cleaned last year, and it just sold under receivership, so we should be receiving that money back into this account for that property, so.
Great. Any other questions from the council?
Just, I don't know, maybe I'm missing this, but, the request for over expenditure is $23,537.58.
25,537.50.
I mean,
25.
oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
That-
requesting 23.5 now. But
That
the,
account was budgeted at 15,000.
I was looking at this one.
Okay, because here it's showing 23, so, okay. I just,
I think that's backup info to this.
okay, all right, thanks. Hold on a sec.
okay, so.
Motion to approve.
We have a
Second.
motion to exceed the cleanup account in the amount of $25,537.58. We have a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
No, hang on.
What's happening? Jeez.
We shut the door on you.
Yeah, wow. There's
no love
on that
Next on the agenda,
Hi, Tara.
before Joe really gets in trouble, is the recreation director. Tara?
Okay,
Sorry.
so. Excuse me. So, the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management has come out with the recreational grants again. And so I would like permission for the town of Warren to apply for the small recreation development grant for no greater than 100,000. I did notice on my resolution that there was an error in the amount in the paragraph, so I would have to send you it says only there's only 4 zeros, it needs to be 5. We're looking to put it into the community garden. So right now, the community garden parcel is there. Brian and I met with RIDOT a couple weeks ago. They're going to remediate the area that they use as a staging area for the bridge. So they're going to come in and fix it up. Once they do that, we can actually get started, but this grant will help us pay for a well, to connect the well, the electricity, the beds. We can put it towards fixing up the shed, making everything ADA accessible, parking and everything. So
And we already have a plan.
we
right?
actually already have 28,000. Kate had asked me about the budget. So we actually already have 28,000 committed from grants and from the contributions from the town. So it's a match, so it's 80% and 20%. So 80% comes from the grant and then the town has to match it 20%. We have all that. And I actually have the budget and I'll get that. I'm working on that. I'll get that for you.
Don't we already have a plan?
We do. Yeah, no, it's already shovel ready.
Right.
And so I figured we'd take the opportunity.
See, look, you're right above adjournment, so. Motion to approve. Mr.
Second.
Knows request.
Motion to approve. I actually have the resolution here, which I signed, but it needs to be corrected.
Yeah,
So that once the
sorry.
clerk corrects it, I will re-sign it. Okay, we have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you.
We have a
Thank
motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Thanks. I'm just surprised you didn't have permission to ask for a grant.
Well, because it helps the grant, they ask for the